And when you learn how to calm your mind and look inside, you begin to discover those things about yourself. That's what martial arts did for me. That's how it helped me to get through cancer.
I wonder if I could kick your ass.
Through meditation and through investigation and intellectualizing about the way things are versus the way they should be, you can arrive at that conclusion that those things are inside you. And when you learn how to calm your mind and look inside, you begin to discover those things about yourself. That's what martial arts did for me. That's how it helped me to get through cancer. But by far and away, the biggest thing was the love and affection I felt, not just from my 5-0 family, but literally martial art, not just Kenpo, all over the world. I was inundated with people sending me their best wishes. How can we help? We'll do a fundraiser to help pay for your. It was an avalanche of people who were driven by love and emotion. And I'll give you an example. The weekend before I was going to start my chemotherapy treatment, my True Whelan, my black belt from Texas, said, "Okay, we're all coming in this weekend. We want to get on the mat with you one more time before you begin your treatment." And when you go through what I went through, you draw in. So I said, "Thank you so much. I love you guys, but please don't. I just need to be alone and be through this." And he said, "No, we really want to come. We need to." And I said, "No." And they said, "Okay, here's the deal. I'm coming anyhow. I'm going to be on the floor in Las Vegas. You can show up if you want to or not." I went, "Okay, got it. I'll show up." So now I'm on the dojo in the dojo on the mat, and occasionally the door in the place is packed, and the door would open, and another person walk in, very emotional time. And then the door opens, and my student from Texas walks in with my student from Southern California, Anto Parsajan, and with them are Rodrigo and Paula Fernandez from Bolivia, from La Paz, Bolivia. They sold one of their cars to pay for a round trip ticket just to spend the weekend with me physically in my presence on the mat.
Wow.
That moment was when I realized the impact that I have had on other people's lives would make me feel comfortable with transitioning out of this life into whatever the afterlife is. Because the only question that came to my mind was, did you matter, Jeff? Did you matter? Did you feel love? Did someone love you? Have you affected the world in a positive way, big scale or small scale? If the answer to those are yes, even marginally yes, then you should be ready to transition to the other side
Was
because you did your job.
was that experience the birth of your Kenpo 5-0 mission statement to know the world is a better place because you were here?
It absolutely was, but I want to tell you where that came from. Back in 79, 80, just when I was finishing up my college, getting ready to move, and knew I was going to California, I started reading these old, much, much older Japanese martial art books that were on the shelves of Blue Angel Dojo in Japan. And in it were the three things that make a real martial artist. And it moved me tremendously. And the third one of those is to know that the world is a better place because you were here. That's where I got that from. And yes, I used it there thinking I could be very well at the end of my life. And when I leave, what do I want to leave behind? How do I want to affect the people that I know care and love about me? And when I read that, I remembered it all my life. And that clearly was why I chose it to be the mission statement of the 5-0 family.
Now you're a pillar in the martial arts world, not just in the Kempo world. And you have, like I said, one of the biggest camps. You were the recipient of Tom Bleeker's Golden Eagle Award last year, I believe.
No, a couple of years before that.
And you have Benny Urquidez, the greatest kickboxer of all time. He's at your camp every year, and so on. And many other people, Jack Autry and other Neil Farber, but people from around the martial arts world.
Yes.
Does that make you feel that, these people come out and support you? Because they don't just come out and support random people. You know,
No,
it,
no.
do, how does that make you feel when you look back and you're the guy who came from Lou Angel, Ted Parker, you progressed through the Kenpo system, you did the Kenpo movie, the only in my the only Kenpo. You did other movies with Kenpo, but the Kenpo movie is the
Yeah.
perfect. And you went on and became a movie star and did another 10 movie, 20, 15, whatever, 20, whatever it was, and which we'll talk about in another episode because we need another episode just talk about your movies. How does it make you feel when you look back, Jeff, and go, you know, it all started here, and now here I am here with this massive organization 5.0, which has thousands around the world in what, 19, 20, 25 countries?
19.
19. How do you feel? Did you ever foresee this sort of thing, or was this just like, obviously through a hard work ethic, all that stuff, you don't get there for free. But
Yes.
when you look back, how does it make you feel? Because you're not doing nothing. Substantially a lot of things for a lot of people, not just in the martial arts, but outside of it too.
I think my wife Kim's uh, comment she made to me several years ago, like 8, 9 years ago now, there have been a few people who've approached me about working in the movie business again, doing a film, and I looked into it, and none of them came to fruition for different reasons. But one of them got close. And I said, I would really love to do that again because it would help my 5-0 family so much because it would make me back recognized again and I could bring more attention to what we've done, blah, blah, blah. And she looked at me and she said, no matter what movie you have done or will do, it'll never compare to what you've accomplished in the 5-0 family. And I stopped and I thought, wow, that's really insightful on her part and she really sees it. And it has nothing to do with karate. She's not a Kenpo student. She just completely devoted herself to helping us grow in the 5-0 organization because of what it's based on, because of the things you just read. That's who we always have been. And we have evolved. I have been open to evolution. Every time I get to a platform, which is a success, immediately I'm looking for, okay, now what possibilities are here? Where can we go next? I just don't sit back and go, oh, hey, we made it. It's over. You know, I
Yeah.
want to go to the next, where can we go next? And we can go much, much bigger than we are now if the Kempo community would come in and support me. If they would come over and want to be a part of the 5-0 system and help us grow. And look, in 2008, I was invited by Taekwondo to go to Ankara, Turkey, to be a guest in their tournament, which was just for teenagers. So I went there. There were 7,000 competitors, just
Wow.
competitors. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And we're teaching Kempo, and we can't. How many people have 1,000 competitors? None. We have 400, 500 in our 5-0 system. Can you imagine how amazing we could be if we could just get out of our own way?
Just as
Yeah.
a note, while you're saying that, Jeff, your camp every year is an open invitation for anybody, including anybody in the camp world, to attend. Is that correct?
Anybody at all. We even have, this is our 6th year of having high-ranking black belts come here from Okinawa, who are students at the Higona Sensei um, Okinawan Goju Center, who come and sit on our testing board and put their signatures on our students' black belt diplomas. That has never happened before in the world. As you know, the Okinawan, the Japanese people, they could care less about what else is going on out there. They are very staunch traditional people, as was I when I was with Lou Angel. And to have not one, but two of them come every year, this is year number 6. I mean, if they weren't blown away, year 2 would have never happened because they don't care. But they come every year and they are amazed at what we have accomplished. So we now have even Goju testing run by those people. We have Goju seminars. So we have an open invitation to all Goju people to come and be a part of what we're doing. So that's a natural evolution of a 40-year friendship. I have a guy named Mickey Brock who also comes every year and sits on the testing board. Here's the point. Can you just everybody listening to me, open your mind for the next couple of seconds, and then when I'm done, close your mind again. But just open your mind and imagine what we could be if we ever united, with how powerful we could be. One of my students in Santa Fe, Tony Potter, created a tax exempt a group, a business, so that he could teach our Kenpo 5.0 to children with learning disabilities. Another, David Giavenco in Sydney, Australia, got the contract to develop and teach a system of self-defense for women in battered home shelters, not just for Sydney, but for the entire country of Australia. Now, those two things happening almost simultaneously represent what we can be, where we can go if we would just get out of our own way and create something worth living for, worth putting your energy into. And that's what we have done. And I invite everybody to come and look online, visit us at my event every July here in Las Vegas. We're at the Rio Hotel, July 7 through 10. This year we added a day. So now we're a 4-day tournament because we're growing so well.
Again, just
Full
to
Jeff
reiterate,
Speakman episode is now
everybody,
playing.
it's open
Link
to
in
everybody.
description.
Nobody needs a written invitation.
No.
Everybody.